this time still trying to figure everything out. So
Still testing out new technology.
yeah.
Got all these toys and
I know, so we don't know what to do with it anymore. So I see a few people in here, so you know the deal. Go ahead and comment, like, whatever. Let us know that you're in here so we can conversate with you. You know, turn the music down. So basically, we're trying to figure out what all went on this week. Like I said, it was kind of a slow week. We didn't have too much going on, but I started my classes again, so I've been going back to school with Averett to get my business, bachelor's in business.
mm-hmm.
So that started up again, so kind of hard getting back into the swing of things after being off for almost 2 months.
It's been 2 months.
It's been about 2 months because I had that one class.
I'm so used to people being on summer breaks.
Well, I mean, essentially it was a summer break because I had that one class like for the first 6 weeks.
Never went nowhere. It was just like, oh yeah, we're here, we're in the house.
You know, that's how it's been going here lately. We just don't. I mean, where are you supposed to go? You know.
But
Shauna says she can't hear us.
Can you hear us now? I know she can hear it because I can hear it on my end. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me.
Yeah, she said she's good.
Cool, perfect. Told you, man. We got all these new gadgets and stuff,
Yeah,
and switches and mics and audio.
Just bear with us. We're figuring it out.
By week 3, we're gonna be good.
I hope so.
We're gonna have a whole camera crew in here and directors and.
Well, to be fair, the only other crew person we have is sitting under our table right now because she wants to be a part of it too. But anyway, so let's see. Time for another episode of my DJ Cam.
Who's the net?
Cam.
We got to get y'all back on the show again.
Yeah.
For another segment.
Figure out what we can do.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out. Got some stuff coming up the next couple months. Your
Yeah.
fall's coming. Everybody's excited for fall. Keep hearing, oh, I can't wait for fall. I guess it's the pumpkin spice lattes.
I don't even think it's this much. I think it's just the fact that we don't have to deal with this ridiculous heat, which obviously comes around every year.
That was just humid now. We got a little bit of rain this week, and now when the rain comes and then the heat comes back out,
now
just
everybody's
muggy.
just sweaty for no reason. Just walking outside, just sweaty. That's not a good look for anybody. So let's get into it. You've posted, if you've seen our promos and stuff and our flyers that we're adding as we do throughout the weeks, just to kind of give you guys a little idea of what we're talking about, so you can join in on it. Our topics we were going to talk about this week. We're going to talk about like musical influences. They called it a Great American Race. Obviously, election time is just around the corner, so we're going to speak on that slightly.
I'll go in depth.
You can go in depth. It's always a controversial conversation, but I mean,
controversy. This is conversation time.
I mean,
we gotta have the
as long as you can be
conversations.
respectful about it, people. Then let's have this conversation because some of these need to be had. And then along with that, so that was our kind of twist on talking about the coronavirus because obviously, I mean, to make a joke out of it, Corona is still a beer. Do you want to along with your Corona? So let's get into it. You want to talk about what musical influences first?
Yeah, and I'm glad this man just jumped in the room.
Oh, Lord, Jason.
My boy Jason
Hey.
just entered in. I'm not going to jump into that yet because the boy Drake just dropped a new song.
He dropped a new promo.
It was a promo
It was a
video.
promo.
I don't know if y'all seen it, but he pulled up in a new Mercedes concept car. They said that they hadn't even been revealed yet. And then he shot it at the Nike factory. So the whole thing is just like a whole marketing campaign for Nike, Mercedes. I mean, the song's cool. He got cool visual effects. He did his little acting thing. So he said he got a new album coming out. The big thing now was these versus battles that people have been doing. DMX and Snoop was probably one of the best ones that I've seen.
It was just like the
this
two
year.
uncles going at it.
Oh yeah,
Just
no,
like
it was a good
having
time.
a good time.
They,
I'm fairly disappointed in the Rick Ross 2 Chainz.
They were just too cool for school.
It wasn't even too cool. It was just too lazy.
Everybody said the same thing. It was just like, hey, they came up, they were just sitting there. It was like, oh, I don't even know. I can't call it. But yeah, wow. So now my stock is going to be. I told you the other day to get you some Nike. I mean, next week we might see.
You told her to chill on it.
She called me when it was going up, and I'm like, no, you don't buy stock when it's rising, because then the next day it was down again. I was like, you might have dodged a bullet. But yeah, back to these musical influences. So the WAP video.
Oh.
I think everybody's had enough time to see the video.
If not, you've heard the song. Regardless if you've seen the video, all you really need to do is just hear the song.
Since this is a family-friendly show, I'm not gonna play the video
not at all.
or say what WAP stands for. I'm gonna let y'all use y'all's Google or other search devices to go out there.
Jason's sister. I mean, that's really what it is. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Cardi B fan. I like me some Cardi B. I am not a fan of Meg Thee Stallion because I just can't get over the fact that she named herself a male horse. I can't get over that fact. But this is just, I mean...
But, yeah, anyway, if you haven't seen the video, I mean, check it out. Visuals, the lyrics, whatever you want to take away from it.
It's a fun looking video in the sense of like it's a very visual.
Yeah. It's
very
cool.
colorful.
And the thing that got me was when people started messaging, because now the big thing is memes, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this is great women empowerment." And for me personally, I'm like, I don't know if we should be calling this women empowerment in this time and age. But then I was at work talking to my boy Jason. He was like, they didn't do anything different than what he said, Nicki Minaj with the Anaconda video.
Yeah.
He said the Genuine Pony video back when we were probably in high school.
But we weren't really paying attention to that.
I really don't think the Pony video was that bad.
I can't even honestly say if I've seen the Pony video.
But then we started just naming off just other videos that was out, like the Nelly Tip Drill video when BET Uncut was at its prime.
Well.
And then I'm like, we're sitting here saying all this, we completely forgot about Uncle Luke and his crew when they were putting the videos out.
Well, here's the thing though. When they said the women empowerment, I think the main line that's getting everybody tripped up that you're saying this is women empowerment is when she says she doesn't cook, she doesn't clean, and then proceeds to tell other, situations. But that's not really women empowerment. So we're walking around like we don't have to cook and clean anymore. So what are you offering other than what the song suggests? I'm sorry. That's just, it is what it is. This is, like said, this is
Uncle Luke.
Yeah, I mean, stallion.
And yeah, that's what
I did not know
stallion equals male horse. However, in Houston, it's slang for tall girl.
Okay. Well,
thank you, Julian, for putting us on to Houston lingo,
Yeah.
because we've been running around like, I don't think you want to be calling yourself a stallion.
No,
but yeah, all right, that makes sense.
But
and to say he's a Megan Thee Stallion fan, because he has countless memes and stuff about it. She said her WAP is her best friend.
Which it may possibly be, and good for her, but these are not really the goals that, like, think of it this way, if you have a little daughter, or if you've got a niece, or whoever, this is what you want her listening to?
But like Jason said to me the other day, he was like, if you allow your kids to look at Megan Thee Stallion or Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, whichever one, and be like, oh, this is my role model, that says something about your parenting.
And it most definitely does, because like when even some of these videos that you guys are mentioning, we were still shielded from this when we were younger. Obviously, we'd find them on our own.
Yeah, BET Uncut had to sneak downstairs, or had to do whatever to be able to see it, because like I said, it came on 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. It wasn't something.
You doing up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning?
Watching BET Uncut. What you mean?
True. It's just Okay.
Yes, Mom. We'll get to Camilla Harris here in a few.
Yes,
we know she's about women empowerment, but I don't want to hear that, because you also be like, oh, Cardi's my girl. I'm gonna go to a Cardi B concert, so I better not look up and see you singing no lyrics to Cardi B as you sit here and you claim women empowerment from Camilla Harris.
Not this one, at least. This is not a family-friendly song, so it's just.
No, she said, she was like, yeah, your aunt and your sister had me up watching that WAP video, and I'm like, what are y'all doing? Like, what's going on?
I mean, it's confidence building. I guess you can use it as that way to say that's women empowerment. At least they're comfortable in their own skin.
I mean, yeah, but
to a certain extent, like I'm stretching it at this point. I know, but I'm just trying to.
Like we said, I mean, different strokes for different folks. I think my main issue was, like you said, oh, I don't cook, I don't clean, but I'm able to perform these other things, and just getting away from quality aspects.
Well, see, and that's the thing. We've seen other people talk about it as well. Not every man, and I'm not dogging what men have a preference to. I don't know, but not every man wants a woman who's going to put herself out like this. So that's kind of the conversation too. Some men are fine with their women walking around saying this, that, and the other, whatever. And other men, in my opinion, it's something that needs to stay at home. It's for the privacy of
Yeah,
your
if it's
own
behind
relationship.
closed doors and you got it playing and music and balloons and streamers and all, yeah, that's cool. But
I ain't doing
I don't know. I'm just.
It's not that kind of party.
Yeah, yeah, just putting it out there and just saying, oh, this is women empowerment, because these young kids, they just take stuff and they just run with it.
And that's really what we were talking about too, as far as the influencer. Obviously, like we've stated, we've had this kind of music since we were younger, but we don't let it influence us like some of this younger generation is. They're out here, oh, this, my girl Cardi said this is what it is, blah blah. No, that's.
And the big one is
that's not it.
All the women watching this are not financially. Dude, I mean, but that's the growing trend now. Because I mean, it's sad to say, I think now more than ever we live in a over hypersexualized society.
Oh yeah.
Like everything now, OnlyFans, people having what is it, Instagram story pages or paying. It's the new legal prostitution now.
It is. I mean, you can't really get away from it. Everywhere you turn is something sexualized. Something even just like simple. Somebody has, like you said, memes are the huge thing now. It's the big way to communicate. Either they've turned something as simple as I mean, I don't even know what you could say anymore, but they've turned something and made a twist to it to where it's just over sexualized. So it is all that kids see. So of course you're subjected to what all of it is on the internet. You can't get away from it.
You can't get away from the internet.
If you're not in the internet age at this point, either you're fairly old. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
Who ain't in the internet?
That's what I'm saying. Even your elders are on the internet.
My grandfather is on the internet more.
He's on more than
we are. Like, he sent me a message today, like, "Hey, I got this new software. I'm about to send it over to you." I'm like, cool.
Right, like that.
I swear, I probably get about 6 or 7 messages from him a day, and even my grandmother, like, she'll start sending me Facebook video messages now. So. Yeah, I mean,
is she mean too?
Yeah. Like, and that's a cool way to connect now, because the internet is just such a powerful tool. But as far as how we're using it, like, we need to be progressing in a more forward direction,
right?
Instead of, oh, all right, I can put this out here for just negative connotation and not really.
We have to use our power for good, not evil. That's basically what we're saying.
My aunt said, when I grew up, my rappers were Queen Latifah, MC Lyte, Salt and Pepper.
Right.
And yeah, that was another conversation we was talking about, because like even with like Foxy Brown, Little Kim, who came on the scene and was
the good Little Kim, not what she is.
Yeah. No. I'm not sure what this new one is, but yeah, just talking about, because Jason was just like, yeah, I mean, what's the difference that they're doing now that Little Kim wasn't doing back then, or Foxy Brown, or he even said MC Salt and Pepper would push it.
Yeah, that was thinking back on the lyrics, that's really.
And then it was funny because he was like, yeah, it wasn't until we actually had TLC come through talking about don't go chasing waterfalls and wanted to have positive lyrics in there. Yeah. So
there's a few of them. I mean, like, we are not denying that we had our own share of questionable lyrics and videos when we were younger. We just didn't let it influence us as much as these kids are today. Like, I'm not walking around, push it. Like, that's not what. It's a good song. That's about it.
Well, yeah, man. Like we said, music is a powerful tool. It's a powerful influence also.
And that's what these people need to realize too. Obviously, you get so much money, you forget who your influencer, probably don't even care. But
nah.
Right. I mean, you get to a certain point. Obviously, you see Drake and his new Nike promo video, whatever. So now everybody's going to be out here wearing Nike or doing other things, buying stock, whatever it is. But if you do it and there's still some out here doing a positive message. It's not, doesn't necessarily have to be like, oh,
I gotta say, man, that boy J. Cole been putting out some quality
you can't go
music
wrong with
lately.
J. Cole at all. He's always got a message in his stuff.
People keep asking like, oh, what's your top 5 music artists? I'm just like, I mean, Cole's up there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I put Drake. He's probably one of the better musical talents of this generation.
He's versatile.
True.
And he can act.
Yeah, true.
So, I mean, like I said, he's a jack of all trades situation.
My aunt's trying to pump Nike stock up now. She's talking about go buy Nike. I can't support this message, but you go right ahead. You got it.
So that's it, basically. I mean, music is everywhere. it's going to influence people how it does.
Yeah, y'all let us know. What do y'all think? Is the music too overly sexualized now, or do we still have messages in some songs, or are people just getting out there just putting out just trash music just because it's got a good beat and people want to bob their head and just dance around?
And honestly, I think that's what it is you listen to the music. You listen to the music first as far as the beat, right? Because that's what catches your attention. And then once you've heard it a couple times, then you go back and listen to the words like, dang, was I really just bopping to this? Like, I don't really know if I should have done that in the first place.
I've fallen victim a few times because, I mean, some of the songs and the beats they come out with are catchy, especially when you hear that big bass drop.
Right. And I mean, I'm not going to lie, it's a catchy song. WAP is a catchy song. The beat and everything is catchy. But I don't necessarily agree with the lyrics.
I think it has some house music undertones in there.
What house music undertones?
Yeah.
Did you hear they said the Kids Bop versions because there's some chores in this house?
No, we're not doing that.
You know, Kids Bop got to come out with their own version on everything. God. Some of the ones that they've put out are hilarious. Kudos to the people who are writing those because that takes some talent.
It's like the Wiggles.
I don't trust the Wiggles. I feel like that's a whole secret operation of some sort.
But yeah, what else we had? The Great American Race.
It's coming, y'all. November.
It was funny because I wanted to use that title as like a double entendre type thing because, I mean, Americans are really a race, but we do get lumped in as one.
We do think we're great.
Especially when I talk to like friends in other countries and stuff. They're just like, they shake their head every time just talking about just issues and stuff that we have going on now. But presidential vice candidate Kamala Harris just got announced here by Joe Biden. So now we have the candidates, and now we're starting to understand what the platforms are. And
still trying to. I'm still trying to get into it to see.
It was an interesting week because it's like as soon as people found out, they were so quick just to jump in and just start bashing and come up with a list of reasons and excuses. And I saw somebody be like, "Oh no, this is just a reason for me to vote for Kanye." Please do vote for Kanye.
Do not. It's not going to turn out how you think it will.
Yeah, if anything for 2020, we definitely need
that would be the cherry on top.
Like, yeah, no, we don't need to do that. Like, we need to actually sit around, get familiar with both sides, get a clear understanding as far as what they have, as far as what they can offer for us as people, and get familiar and just basically just show up to the polls, go vote, just make sure we're out there.
Exactly, and the thing is too is everybody, like you said, they're just going out and bashing her. You also subject yourself to that when you run for politics. Everything that the other person do is going to be a smear campaign, plus whatever these other followers of obviously the other party, again, they're going to run their own smear campaign against you. I mean, sometimes too, unless, like you said, if you're not informed, people are just going to say the only things they do know, and it may, one, not be very positive, or two, sometimes it's just not true at all. So, like you said, do your
research, get familiar with what the people's platforms are, and just show up to vote and make your own decisions on it. Because
Shauna said, I think people need to give Kamala a chance and stop going on her previous jobs. Exactly, and that's really kind of the whole basis here is you need to get to know your candidates. You can't just go in here and blindly vote, because then if you don't know who you're voting for, do you really, I mean, not what's the purpose of voting. Every vote counts, and yes, you should go out and voice your opinion, but you need to understand who you're standing behind. So when they ask you, oh, well, why did you vote for so-and-so? Oh, just because he wasn't the other one.
We gotta, we're smart enough as a society now to be able to make educated decisions on things, especially, like we said, internet. We have all the tools and resources to be able to go out, form thought-provoking opinions, actually get the facts instead of, oh, this is what this was just because I feel this type of way for the day, and I'm just going to say any type of blanket statement. But actually get the facts, get an understanding, and then go and have a thought-provoking debate with people. Like, I talk to people all the time that voted for the other side. I mean, we're able to sit down, able to have discussions about it, and then without getting upset or I'm not talking to you. Like, that's the best. That's the great part about being in America. We're able to have these decisions, have these discussions, and vote. But at the end of the day, we're able to sit down, be friends at the end of the day, regardless of how some of us might feel. But
because as you said, like, then it's just an opinion, and then it can't be right or wrong. It's just an opinion, and that's, I think, what people seem to forget We're not necessarily saying, hey, this is how it is.
Mm-hmm.
This is my view on it. If you don't agree with it, that's great. Fine, we'll move on to the next topic. But you can't condemn me for my opinion. I just don't understand
Exactly.
that.
And Arceli said, social media is not a place to get your info. Do your research. Definitely. Like, there's a lot of places to fact check things. Like, social media is cool if you just want to blow off some steam, you know, post a little meme out there, get a laugh or two. But
which she said memes don't count either. So
I mean, I like a good funny meme. Like, memes get me through my day.
Well, because most of them are hilarious. It's just like you said. It's just a little bit of humor to break up the seriousness throughout the day, and everything that you see online and all the smear campaigns, this, that, and the other. You've got to have a little bit of comedy just to so you don't go crazy.
And that's why I said it's the great American race, because not only is it an election race, but it's also us as a collective. They say America is a cultural melting pot.
Supposed to be.
I mean, yeah, I like to feel it. I know my community, when I go out places and see people interact with people of different walks of life, like, we have that mutual respect. It's not, oh, you voted for this person, or, oh, you look like this, or, oh, you're not wearing a mask, which is the big thing now.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't seen it here in Roanoke, but in other areas, just like looking or talking to people, they're just like, yeah, these mask situations are getting out of hand. Like, I've been in places, and I'm like, I mean, if I got my mask on, I'm not really worried about this person over here, because at least I'm going to be protected. I did what I needed to do, but, you know,
people are just going crazy.
It's a weird time now. And but my biggest thing, like, the older I get now and start developing more of an understanding on local elections, getting familiar with your local politicians and the people that make it, that's really where change can start to come about. Just being present, being aware of what's happening. Because, I mean, Roanoke does a great job as far as keeping us informed, keeping us in the loop. Some of our politicians, people on council, they're great. We see them just out in the community all the time. They're more than willing just to stop, have a discussion, just talk about different things. So that's what I like most about just being here, just having, like I said, that close knit community where you can reach out to your people on council.
And it may be a little bit harder in larger cities, but it's not impossible. If you know who to contact and who to talk to, your message can get to them in one way or another. And even still, politicians are on social media. Obviously, we've seen it. So, you know, try to reach out to them on there too. Somebody in their team will see it and somehow relay it if it gets.
I started following Kamala Harris on Twitter, and she was going off the other day. She was just posting baby pictures and all types of stuff.
Of her?
Yeah, just when she got announced that she was going to be running, and then like just seeing like people respond back and just doing the retweets and stuff. So it was cool. Also follow the boy DT on there. Also,
he's just hilarious.
I like following him because I mean, just some of the stuff he posts is humorous, and I'm just like, yeah, that's funny. And you follow him enough, he'll give you stock tips throughout the day and let you know. So, I mean,
that's really
play the market.
It's comedic. I'm sorry, there's no other word to use for it other than just comedic.
I got to give a shameless plug because my stock group is running a special this weekend on the different option courses and stock fundamentals. So I'll post it when it's over, but I had to just get it out there because people kept asking me. I was doing some posts today. People were like, oh, where can I get this? So I'll post it in the comments later. But anybody that has an interest in stocks or options or just wanted to get a basic understanding, I'll post that video later. You can check it out for a great price also. So definitely check that out. My grandfather said, very interesting discussion. I would like to suggest they use YouTube to listen to one album, Marvin Gaye, What's Going On, but it includes a message and some suggestive lyrics. Yeah, I think he actually put that song out during, you got to fact check me on it. I don't know if this is right. I think during the Civil Rights era, I think Marvin Gaye put it out. My grandfather will correct me if I'm wrong. So, also, we must remember to vote at every level: national, state, local. One person doesn't make change; the collective. Exactly, Cam. And definitely just getting that in people's mindsets to just start being aware of when local elections are coming up and being engaged. Because there's no reason now why we shouldn't. We all have phones. We all have the technology. And like we said, we're all responsive and receptive to information. So, yeah, if there's something that you don't like, don't make excuses. Find solutions.
Exactly. That's a good quote. Because you said it starts at the local level. And then, obviously, we've seen with the Black Lives Matter protests and...
Yeah, we definitely... I think if 2020 hasn't taught us anything, the one thing it has taught us is how if we move as a collective and as a unit, we can definitely bring about some changes. And I mean, just the movements and the protests that have been going on,
right.
and just how we see now lawmakers making changes and doing things. But hey, it don't stop there. We got a long way to go.
Yep. And it may seem minimal, but that's how it's going to be. It's always going to be a slow start at first. But like I said, once you get enough traction, enough people behind it, things will rapidly start changing. Obviously, I mean, you can think, again, just referencing the Black Lives Matter movement just because it's so large now, did you think that, you know, when they started off that they would make the change that they're making now? I mean, it's just crazy. And then that's just, everything started out as a conversation.
Yeah.
That's really all
it's conversation time.
It's conversation time. Everything started out as a conversation, and where you take it from there and how it spirals and who you continue to add to your conversation is where your change comes. So, like you said, getting to know your local government and this, that, and the other can really make a difference, because as soon as they hear from one person, they're going to see that it's more than just you speaking about it.
Exactly.
It was no protest music. I've been sharing the protest music of the 60s with the new millennial protest
and it's
music with community social movements class.
And yeah, I talked to my grandparents, both sides of them, just about once the whole coronavirus, COVID, 2020 situation happened, just like, hey, have y'all ever seen anything like this go on since y'all been alive? I mean, of course, they lived through the civil rights era, but just in terms of we got national shutdowns. We got, we're on the verge between like a civil war between what was going on with the policing and the whole protest aspect, and then just with the election stuff. I mean, 2020.
It's the year for the history
yeah,
books, for sure.
If you make it out, we're definitely going to come out stronger, because I mean that's just what we do as a society. I mean, we don't let stuff just beat us down, but we find ways to overcome and to get over it while also coming out on top. So I think 2021 we'll have a more tougher mindset. I think this here actually prepared us, because I think a lot of us were like, 2020, this is going to be my year, and I think it actually knocked us off our peg a little bit.
As it should have.
Where we need to like rebuild, get a new focus, and a new understanding. Well, I don't know if people watch Greenleaf, but that's what they were saying. A new mindset. New mindset.
What was it new beginning? Or Make Me New?
Yeah, Make Me New was
something like
the sermon that they were preaching on there. So
if you haven't watched it,
I'm about to run with this.
Very good show.
About to run with this new energy here for the rest of 2020, moving into 2021.
Well, it's like we've talked about before, and we keep hearing people say it. You can't go back to the same mindset you had before March. And honestly, let's see, March was, so we're like only 5 months away from that. I can't even remember what the mindset was between December of last year and now, because it's just... Yeah,
all plans just got canceled.
Everything got canceled, but you've had to think in a different way. Some people who have lost their jobs, they're like, okay, cool, so what can I do now for income? If you haven't been able to get unemployment, this, that, and the other, what other things can you do? It's just expanded your skill set, and it's just given you a different way to look at life, like, hey, everything's not promised. Obviously, we've seen that with unfortunate people who have passed away from this. You know, you've got to love the ones that you have dear to you now. You can't take anything for granted, and you need to be able to make sure that you can be self-sufficient in case something were to happen and you don't have it anymore. Exactly.
And I've been talking to a lot of people just in terms of how they've chosen to occupy their time during, like we said, during lockdowns or during just the isolation period. And there's a number of people just picked up a new skill set, learned a new craft, a new trade that they weren't familiar with, and now some of them are even making money. I've seen a lot of people just come up and create new businesses during this time. So like I said,
which is risky in and of itself, too.
Yeah, but how we respond to adversity, like you said, when you're down, you got to figure out ways to do different things. And 2021, like a lot of these people's businesses are going to start flourishing because they had no choice but to get out there and do stuff. Like the number of people like even got into like seamstress, just making masks. I saw something on the news today where they said that sewing machines can't be kept in stores anymore because they're just flying off the shelf.
Well, I mean, that's a good thing to have. Everybody, I need to learn how to sew.
And that's the thing. Sewing was a skill set that, like, I'm sure your mother, she knows how to sew. My grandmothers, they were sewing, but it was just like an art form that just got lost. But now we're seeing people taking up sewing now. So where do we go from here? Are we going to get back into People just sewing their own clothes again, or
But you got to think about if people were to do that, like say 5 years from now, you got this skill set, you can make your own clothes. How's that going to do for the industry?
I mean, but we already see how the industry's going.
Yes, it is going. It is. It's the. I mean, we keep saying that too. It's the retail apocalypse. Everything. I just had dinner with one of my former coworkers. She's still in retail, but we can slowly see some of the stores that we've shopped at or we've worked in are just either going to online only or they're shutting down completely. They can't keep up with everybody doing on Amazon or just shopping online. We were talking about Black Friday and what's that going to look like this year because most of these stores, Walmart, Target.
But that was
a couple different stores aren't opening on Thanksgiving.
But that was more in terms of with coronavirus and being in enclosed areas right now. But the thing is, online, they said online shopping is at an all-time high. Mm-hmm. They said that Amazon is just crushing it right now. I think they said Bezos made doubled his money between January and now.
After the divorce?
Yeah, he said he got a divorce. Because of how much, like, people, that's all they do. They spend time on Amazon, just buying stuff all day. And it said, like, I mean, he got a divorce, and then I think they said he made $13 billion on, like, a Tuesday. So, stop. Your grandma Shirley didn't sew. I'm going to call her when we get off here and tell her that you said that. Because I know she was in there hemming some pants or doing some type of stitching. I had sewing in school, home economics. Yeah, and I remember when I was in school, we had like a little basic introduction to home economics class. They taught us how to cook. They taught us how to sew. Just little basic things.
Oh, so they don't really have that in classes anymore either, do they?
No.
Or did somebody say they were bringing that one back? I can't remember. I know they've got a finance class. Are you plugged in?
Mm-hmm.
Mine's about to die.
I'll give you that. Sharing is caring.
It is caring. There we go. Anyway, sorry about that.
But yeah, anybody learned any new skill sets during this time, the last 6 months, or picked up anything? A big thing that's happening now is digital marketing. Mm-hmm. People doing these online classes and putting it out there so people can actually get the content, get valuable information, and then take it and then use it for themselves. So.
Well, I mean, you're learning more about with this video production and doing things like this. And that's the thing too is we had our goals that we wanted to do for last year that we wanted to try to do in 2020. Everybody's got time to do it now, so there's really no excuse why your house projects can't get done or why you can't learn a new skill set or this, that, and the other. You've got nothing but time right now.
All we got is time.
Utilize it while you've got it.
Yeah, what we did? We did the gardening. I've been learning some video editing production. You've been in here killing in the kitchen. That hibachi game is mean.
Thank you. Think of how it's going to be when I get my Blackstone.
Yeah. Okay.
It's going to be great. Your mom said she sewed clothes for you.
I saw that message, Mom. I'm 6'10". What clothes were you sewing for me?
Maybe.
I was outgrowing clothes like a weed, Mom. Okay. All right. You got it.
Hey, calling your mama out. Anyway, so... Alright, so we're talking about different schools and sets. But speaking of school, kids are going back to school the next, week?
I saw something where they said, not here, but other parts of the country were just shutting back down because the kids are going back to school in, I think, Oklahoma or Ohio, one of those areas. The kids went to school, they were taking pictures in the school of
Wasn't
the crowded...
Georgia?
It might have been Georgia. Somewhere. But, yeah, the kids were going back. They were taking pictures. The kids got suspended because I guess the administration was like, nah, don't show people the crowded hallways. And then come to find out, like 9 people in the school tested positive.
I think they've said so far, and I'm assuming this is across the nation. Again, fact check me on it. I'm not 100% sure. But upwards of 200 cases now between faculty and students. Mm-hmm. So, and this is just within a first week of kids going back to school at different places. So where we're at, I know that the city is...
First 9 weeks is virtual.
Well, for the city's first 9 weeks is virtual, and then for county, I think they're going 2 days.
Yeah,
out of the week.
2 block days.
So I don't know about Salem or anything like that. I know a lot of people have had to figure out how they're going to have.
So they said Botetourt County starts the 24th.
Are they going 2 days, or how? I haven't heard anything about Botetourt. We'll close by the end of September.
Yeah, I know. Like my sister's school, she's virtual now. They said
Most of them are, and I haven't even looked to see what mine's talking about as far as campus, just because it doesn't pertain to me. But I think a lot of them are starting to go more towards virtual. I don't even think Virginia Tech is opening up in the fall. But then we've got people in Radford who've already
Radford,
moved on campus.
they're back up there.
So, it's kind of crazy how people are handling these things. Parents have the option of 100% remote or hybrid. Now, see, that wouldn't be a bad idea. They have the option of 100% remote or hybrid learning.
Yeah, but not all parents have they have the luxury of being able to just keep their kids home.
But that's why you give them the option.
Cam said, yeah, it was Georgia. I believe Gwinnett County School was where the girl made the video and got suspended. She was just trying to be a reporter, man.
Right,
she was
like
just trying to let people know, like, hey, don't come here.
You can't tell them to silence their voices and then tell them to use it at the same time. That's not how that works. So we obviously don't have kids yet. So
no, my kid definitely wouldn't be going.
No, gosh, no. I think even my cousin might be on the fence of going back and forth with it, but she's also a substitute teacher. So
Yeah, no, we definitely would have had a whole little learning space set up with digital boards and blocks and all types of learning atmosphere. Because no, we can't do that.
Your aunt said that the movie theaters are opening back up too.
Yeah, I saw that. AMC's supposed to be opening back on the 24th.
Did you see what they're offering?
15-cent movies?
Yeah, they
That's
said like 19, 20 prices in 2020. That's a good marketing.
Crazy.
But I'm not an AMC fan in the first place.
I'm not going to AMC. Their movie.
I'll pay $15.
Their movie theaters are. Because AMC brought out Carmike. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Like, when I go to movies, I like to be comfortable. We got spoiled going up there to Baltimore. Because they got the reclining seats.
Oh my gosh, I know.
The nice plush leather. When you sit down, your body melts into the couch. Yeah, it was just a great experience.
People bring blankets and stuff now. It's crazy. We didn't get to go. We went to the IMAX up in Christiansburg once, and that was before they switched management. So that one was nice too. Bring your own. Well, I don't know if you're supposed to bring your own food, but you can. So
everybody brings their own food in the movies. I know somebody that brought an entire bucket of chicken into the movies.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would. Their food's too expensive.
Yeah, people that live in Roanoke, behind Happy's now, they're going to be doing drive-in movie theaters. So they're going to turn that space, I guess, for now or the foreseeable future, into a drive-in movie theater.
And some Walmarts, I don't know if ours is, but some Walmarts are doing parking lot drive-in theaters as well.
I mean, that's cool. They're bringing that aspect back because
drive-in theaters are always fun.
Yeah.
It's just a different, like you said, it's a different atmosphere. You still get to enjoy it. It's not, I mean, yes, we've got the technology and people have their 80-inch screen TVs and this, that, and the other. You could watch it at home, but there's something about going out and watching a movie. So
it's something about the nostalgia of paying $65 for a large popcorn and a large drink.
I miss it.
I don't.
I do.
Yeah, AMC was offering that 15 cents. Yep.
They said, I think their headline was something like 1920 prices back in 2020.
Oh, Arceli's on it. Thank you. She posted the link for the Walmart drive-ins.
It'd be something fun for the kids, because you remember when they were doing, and I'm sure they're not doing it this year, they were doing the movie in the park or whatever it was over at Elmwood, and they have it right there in a 202 center in the square.
But they did that, and so did Longwood. Longwood Park was doing a movie in the park also, where they would have just different movies.
I haven't seen Longwood in the park in forever, though. Cam said my grandma brought an 8-piece for us to the movies when we were kids. The greatest.
See? I'd be telling you, Kali over here, nobody bring no chicken in the theater.
I didn't say nothing about that.
You had that look like...
we brought whole tacos in there one day.
Whoa.
Because they're going to kick you out now every time. Hide this in your purse, babe.
They might
Put
be
it at the
checking
bottom.
for us.
They ain't checking for nobody.
Use zip code 241 to find ones in Roanoke. Tickets aren't available just yet, so keep checking. And yeah, that's another thing. Like there were a lot of good movies coming out here for 2020 that I was excited for.
And some of them you have to see in theaters.
Yeah.
Any of the Marvel ones you've got to see in theaters. So this is the thing right now. If you've got Disney Plus, I know. If you've got Disney Plus, one, you're already paying for the service if your year is up with Verizon, which I think ours is.
We're about to let that go.
I'm not letting that go. And then, two, they've got Mulan, the second Mulan, which, mind you, really has nothing to do with the first one.
Is Mulan 2?
This is the live action. Mulan. So you have to pay, again, like I said, you're already paying for the service with Disney Plus. Now you have to pay $30
Nah, $30
to watch Mulan. You watch when Black Widow 2 comes out.
I heard
Or
Black Widow
comes
was
out,
going to
it's
be 50. Nah,
Yeah.
we're not doing that. Speaking of movies, that new Project Power comes on tonight with Jamie Foxx
And Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a good one.
Netflix be coming with the originals.
She also posted the Happy's Parking Lot. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, we were just talking about that earlier.
Which I think they're playing a movie next Friday.
Jurassic
Park. Do you know which one it is?
The first one, the original.
Ooh, I've already binge watched the third one like 8 times this week.
Wow, what is wrong with
It's
you?
a good movie.
Nothing is that good.
It's definitely a good movie. I think you're missing out.
I'm good.
But so we were going to check too. This is a horrible segue, but we were going to talk about healthcare.
Yeah.
In the U.S. It's absolutely horrible.
You just now realize this?
Oh no, I've known this, but it's just been like a pain to try to get just the simple things. Like, I don't understand it. Movie theaters opening at 25 cents a movie.
Those are 1960s prices.
I don't think the 60s, maybe a little bit like 30s.
1930?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We weren't alive.
I was not thought about. $38, all the ones you want to see. I mean, what's out?
Right now, nothing. Kingsman's supposed to be coming out next month.
But back to healthcare.
Yes, so it's horrible. So I've got to be on medication for my psoriasis, because if not, it's going to flare up. I'm going to be itchy. It's going to suck so bad. And they've excuse me, they're having to switch me over from the medicine I've been on for like the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
To a different one, because it's not the one I'm on currently. It's not safe to be on while you're trying to be to get pregnant.
You pregnant?
No.
Oh.
So so the whole process is you've got to go through, and they've got to get pre-authorizations for this, because it is a steroid and it is an injection. All this crazy mess, right? So I've been on the phone back and forth with these individuals for the last 2 weeks, just trying to get a starter dose. First of all, mind you, with insurance, the starter dose is over $1,000 for 2 pens, 200 milligrams of this medicine, and then after that, it's like 600. So that's why they have these copay cards, whatever. But 2 weeks going back and forth with these people of, oh, well, they said they didn't have the authorization. Oh, well, I gave it to them yesterday. Well, we don't have it on file. Our computer's messed up. What in the world? As much money as we are paying for insurance and everything else, it should have been on my doorstep the minute y'all knew I switched over.
Insurance is crazy.
This is absolutely ridiculous.
It's like she got happy. She heard baby.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just like these coronavirus tests that they're talking about. They're going to have vaccines for, but how expensive they're going to be to administer them. And
then apparently you could be fined or put in jail if you don't get it.
They got to come for me.
Right, I'm not doing this.
That's cool.
And then I've heard now that they've got, they're looking at doing another way of testing for coronavirus. Instead of sticking it all the way up your nose, you could just do a saliva swab. That would be a lot easier.
But I thought you had to get, the mucus membrane.
I have no earthly idea. This is just talks that I've heard. But
I don't know.
Right, it really is. It's just who can get the most for the dollar. This is absolutely ridiculous. You made the point, what if I was diabetic and need my insulin?
You'd be dead.
I wouldn't be dead. I'd be in a corner somewhere for sure, though.
You'd be in shock.
Right, it would be...
It's been 2 weeks. No, you'd be dead. It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'd probably be dead. But it's just horrible to try to figure out, you think of people who have to have medication that's much more important than what I'm taking, and they're having either... If you don't have insurance, you're screwed. There's no way around it.
That's the disparity in this country right now,
mm-hmm.
and that's a lot of the talks. Like I said, got to get familiar with what laws are going on, what's being passed, and actually put pressure.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Got to apply pressure to these people that are making these laws. Because at the end of the day, people that have money, they don't have to worry about anything. Because all right, that's cool. You got connections, you have resources in order to do it. But like we said, people that don't have the funds or don't have the resources that actually need these things, that can't get it,
mm-hmm.
they're just SOL.
And sometimes you do have doctors who are nice enough to float you samples if they've got it on hand. I've had doctors like that before, and it helps out. But once those samples run out, or once something happens and they say, hey, I can't do this anymore, again, you're back where you started.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you supposed to do at that point? And that just also, like you said, that goes back to as well knowing what your candidates for presidency, what their platforms are based on issues that are important to you. So if you like healthcare, where do they stand on healthcare, gun control, this, that, and the other? You need to figure this out so you're just not voting for whoever is not the other guy. And then you're even in a worse boat than where you were before, and you're just thinking and nobody can save you.
Don't want to sink.
No. So it's just something to think at. Let's go back and look at some of these other comments we didn't get to. Let's see.
But sports is back.
How many sports do you actually watch?
Me, I don't personally, but I got friends that are excited for sports to be back. And,
so what are they doing with football? Because I know that they're saying they can play games, but there's not going to be any fans in the arena.
I don't know. Probably be the same thing like how basketball is. I mean, they're in the bubble. They got like
obviously somebody broke that bubble, so.
But a football player just got fired before he even was able to step foot on the turf.
Because he was trying to sleep.
Yeah, he tried to sneak some girl into the hotel, and they said he dressed her up as like a player and was doing stuff, and they were like, "Nah, dude, you're out of here."
Oh
man,
my gosh.
I'll find the article later.
It's not even that serious.
Man, I don't know, but yeah, they said he got fired. It's like, how you get fired before you even played?
Get fired on your first day.
Gee.
Can't be stupid. I mean, I don't really get into sports that much. I do enjoy a football game every now and again, and I do like watching the Super Bowl just because the rivalry, and it's a big event.
I can't get into it anymore.
Really? I think
used to like. I enjoy watching for the commercials. I like
the commercials last year were horrible.
The commercials last few years have been terrible.
Yeah, they're not really. Well, they haven't really stepped their game up with that like they should.
Is there going to be a Super Bowl? Who knows? That's usually what, February?
Yeah, usually the first weekend in February.
We had one this year.
This past year.
Yeah.
No, this year, right? Because we were at your dad's house.
Yeah.
So.
But let me tell you, I don't know what's happening week to week. I'm just happy to be here, chatting with y'all Fridays, because.
This is our highlight.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know what's going to go on in the next couple months.
I was trying to read what your grandfather said.
Then about the fact that the administratives affecting. I'm not sure.
I don't know what it is. I was going back and reading some of the ones that we had earlier. People were still talking about the music.
Oh yeah, my boy Julian said something about some music. Let's see what he said. Music execs have perverted the market. A lot of meaningful songs are non-mainstream. Music hasn't changed. The ones that the record labels pay to play on radios have. Yeah. I read something about that before, like you got to pay to play, essentially.
Well, yeah.
Like nobody wants to hear thought-provoking music that's inspiring change to get people out there fired up to make stuff happen. They want to listen to that trash that you can throw stuff in a circle and yeah, we know that. We known that game for a while.
Cam said, I believe people listen for what they want, when they want it. The trick, however, is to know when to pick it up and when to put it down.
Exactly.
That's a good point, too. I mean, there's a time and place for everything. So, WAP is not really the place you would...
In church? You don't want to be whopping in church?
You should not, unless it's, worship and praise.
I saw a meme and the guy was like, yeah, my dad's a pastor, and I told him that WAP was worship and praise. He said my dad went in the pulpit and was like, can I get some WAP in here today?
Oh, no!
I need all the WAP. And he was just like, oh, Dad, no.
Straight silence
no.
in the congregation. But there will be those few who stand up. So that would be an interesting sermon. He must be listening to that music you were talking about before. Yeah. Me as well. I'm glad I wake up every morning. Same. Every day is a blessing. You just need to look at it that way instead of thinking, why am I here? You need exactly, why are you here? What is your purpose? Are you fulfilling your purpose?
Gotta move with a purpose.
Exactly. So.
What was that joke you said yesterday?
What joke?
About the pilot.
Oh, it was another meme. It was so, we were just trying to think of things that we can add on here so that would be funny or just a little bit of comical relief, whatever. And if you look up coronavirus memes, I'm sorry, but there are so many and they're hilarious. There was one, and it showed people sitting on a plane, and it had on the overhead speaker, it said, "This is your pilot today. I am working from home."
Oh God! That's how it's gonna be here soon.
Can't pilot working from home.
Yeah. Elon's about to.
I'm not putting
Hey,
nothing.
Tesla is not a car company.
No, they're also not an airplane company or an astronaut.
But what this man's about to start doing, he's about to start selling the technology that he uses for his vehicles to other companies.
I'll tell you right now, I'm not riding in any plane, in any vehicle, or anything like that that does not have a physical driver.
I think it's so much bigger than just the self-piloting technology. Like, when you talk about just power, and like with Tesla, the actual Tesla was trying to do with electric power, like him implementing that into, like, we talk about homes, you having all electric homes, or even.
I think it gets expensive though. That's the thing.
But I think he might do something with solar here real soon. They're talking about solar energy is supposed to be on the come up now. People now, is the big thing is sustainable energy.
Yep.
Figuring out ways that we can have a greener footprint going forward. So, I mean, I'm excited. Also, Tesla stock is about to do a 5-for-1 stock split, and they went through the roof here the other day.
Why?
Just because when they had that announcement, you got to remember this time last year, Tesla was only trading for around $200-300.
What's it at now?
About $1,600.
Woo.
So if you would have got about 2-3 shares of Tesla,
you've been doing good right now.
You'd be doing all right right now. But yeah.
I mean, I'm for it. I'm all for creating a greener environment around you and stuff because it's been so messed up over the years anyway. But there's just certain things need to be left alone. You saw when they tried doing the self-driving cars. Was it out in California? Somebody drove over a cliff.
I'm not a fan of the self-driving vehicles just yet, or even a self-driving plane, because I know that's coming.
Oh, I'm not getting in the air.
I know it's coming in the future, but just in terms of just the electric vehicles, I mean the Tesla cars look good, but for me right now, I couldn't see myself just powering up a car, having to drive it. But down the line, I think that's what we're gonna move. We're gonna move to because because GM sold their old factory, the Lordstown, who was the race for all. Yeah, I know, Workhorse. Workhorse is out there, and there was a whole article on that. But there've been a couple other little companies pop up here lately that are electric car companies. Even Ford made an announcement that they're going to put out an electric vehicle. Also, that new Ford Bronco looks pretty sweet. It looks good. I like it. They did bring it back.
Is it out already?
No, not yet. It's about to come out, but it looked good.
You can get you a Bronco?
I'm not going to get a Bronco, but it looks good. It looked good, though.
I mean, well, and then Ford's still one of the leading names as far as...
Are they?
I'm talking about for, like, bigger cars, like trucks and stuff like that. Every time you get a truck, who's getting, anything other than a Ford F-150? Yeah. You say you got a truck, that's the main one people go to. Well, other than like was it Dodge Ram? Mm-hmm. That's really about it. But GMC's not really up there like I don't think they used to be. That used to be a big SUV company now, and it's just But
yeah, the companies like you said. I mean, everything now. I mean, especially after the Corona happened.
Right.
Like a lot of these companies that have been out for years, we now see they're having to go back to the table, do a whole company restructure because of just lack of sales or just business right now.
Which is not necessarily a bad idea. I mean, if you've been running this long with the same ideas, I think it might be time for an upgrade or at least a new business strategy. You've made it so far now. Where can you go from here? Which is, I can see why some of at least the car companies and stuff are looking into going into the electric vehicle.
That's the next space.
It is the next space. I mean, you remember the Jetsons, where they thought we'd be at right now. What was that? What year was that? I don't even remember.
With the Jetsons?
Yeah. What year were they set at?
2000 something. I don't.
Thinking we were going to be flying around. And
definitely should be flying. I'm like, they dropped the ball with those little hoverboards because.
What the?
Wasn't no hoverboard. Back to the Future when Marty was on the board. We did get the lace-up Nikes, the Nike Mags that he wore. You've never seen Back to the Future, have you?
That's really one of my...
You're just sitting there looking at me just...
I know. I'm not... That's not one of my prouder things that...
I'll add it to the list of movies you haven't seen.
Sorry. I need to add that one. I'm not very proud of that I haven't seen.
There's 3 of them.
I know.
There's 3.
I know. Thank you. I'll get into it. And that was set in 2015.
Back to the Future?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do know that from Big Bang Theory because they went back and looked at it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I think that's about all we had this week. Do you have anything else?
I'm about to go check out this Project Power on Netflix.
That would be the movie tonight.
And Umbrella Academy. I'm over here talking about Netflix like I got stock in them.
We should. Starbucks and Netflix.
All right, we'll
good.
get some. We'll get some here soon.
I'd say Disney, but I'm not paying for their
I'm
stuff.
cool.
They don't really give off anything.
I'm off that.
But anyway, Netflix Academy, Umbrella Academy. If you
Season 2.
Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen any of it,
Don't spoil it.
I'm not spoiling
Oh,
anything.
you're about to mess up.
I'm not
people are like,
spoiling
why'd she say
anything.
that? All right, go ahead.
I'm not talking to you anymore. Anyway, if you haven't seen it, just close your ears at this point. There's some questions on there that people have had about as far as like what the dad is and this, that, and the other.
You're cut off.
There's definitely no spoiler in that.
You can't talk no more.
Literally no spoiler in that at all. That is so vague.
That was a spoiler in
There was
itself.
nothing like that. It's an enticing statement to get you to go watch the Umbrella Academy.
Umbrella Academy on Netflix. Check it out if you like good action, superhero-esque movies, TV shows.
I really thought the guy that played Fob was older than. Would you say he was 16 in real life? You know how usually they get younger people, or they get people to play like younger, like 38-year-olds playing a 12-year-old.
Only Disney does that.
Disney doesn't do that.
You sure?
Who?
All their shows on TV.
No, because most of those kids grow up with Disney, and
Oh.
you see him now. Look at Zac Efron. He wasn't 28 in High School Musical.
Zac Efron's 52 years old. What are you talking about?
He looks good for 52.
Wow.
Oh, he's got a new thing out on Netflix too. What's it called?
Couldn't get into it.
I can't remember, but he travels around the world doing something.
Probably Odd Jobs.
Something of that nature. I can't even remember what it is. But you guys keep us updated on movies and stuff you think we need to watch, because obviously, again, we've got nothing but time. So
I'm about to. Cantaloupe's growing wonderfully in the garden now.
it is. We've got about
After
5
those
of them.
James and the Giant peach-like zucchinis.
They were not supposed to be that large.
I didn't know. I was just like, oh, it's growing. That's how stuff grows.
Unless you're like entering a county fair.
Oh, I could definitely win a prize for that one.
Like 3rd place.
Nah, like first. But yeah, cantaloupe's coming in nice now. Carrots look like they're doing pretty good.
They're doing something.
Cam keeps calling me. He's like, "Oh, what's up, Farmer Evans?" I'm like, "Hey."
Corn's coming in.
Yeah.
Probably by the next few weeks you'll have some.
Yeah.
And we'll be good to go for your fall corn dishes.
So now I got to figure out what we're gonna plant in there next. So.
We need to go back and we need to just kill all the weeds and stuff in there when everything freezes over and start fresh, and then not have all these issues because my onions are not.
We'll get it together. It was the first go at it. I think we did pretty good.
If anything, we know we can survive on zucchini because we get about 4 or 5 of those every week, so we'll be good on that. But anyways, I think that's all I've got for today. Do you got anything else?
No, I'm good. So we'll talk to y'all next week. I'll provide those links in the feedback post. But yeah, if y'all got any questions or anything, or any topics y'all want us to talk about for next week, shoot us an email or text message or
Who's emailing like that?
people email me all day.
Well, it's 'cause you
I had
have
like
business
60 something
emails.
emails today.
It's business emails. Or something
I
different.
mean, all right, Facebook us.
There you go.
Jump in our DMs.
Oh.
Is that what the kids are saying
Is
nowadays?
that what the kids are saying now? Are you too old to know the lingo?
So Cam said Dark on Netflix. I believe it's a German series. Great show. All right, we'll add that to the watch list and check it out and see what that's talking about. Or Shelly said that. Cool.
Awesome. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Y'all have a good and safe weekend.
Definitely be safe out there.
In these streets, you never know what's going on, but we will see you next week.
Peace.